All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another meditation with me. That's Jeremy McMahan. And if you're enjoying the videos and the content, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, like the video, leave a comment. Also, I am accepting students for one-on-one meditation classes if you'd like to deepen your practice. I generally charge about $50 an hour for an online session, but I'm always happy to negotiate, so just reach out. You can also feel free to give me a donation. I have my Venmo information and PayPal email down in the info below. So check that out if you feel so inclined. No pressure though. So let me just get up on my little stool and let's get started talking about meditation today. So I had a question that I received from my dad this time instead of my mom, and so he was asking, what's the deal with Om? And what is it? What's up with Om? So Om, or sometimes spelled OHM. And, that's just the typical kind of mantra that you hear associated with meditating. Like, when I used to work at the Urban Museum of Art, I'd do a lot of school tours, and a lot of the times, I'd talk about meditation, and I'd be with a group of kids, and I'd say, you kids know what meditation is? And they'd be like, yeah. And I'd be like, what is meditation? And they'd sit like this and go, Om, Om. And so like Om and meditation, in our culture and are really like intertwined, right? And I mean, kind of rightly so. It is used a lot for meditation practices in India. So what is the deal with Om? What is Om? What does it mean? So I'll just go ahead and say Om doesn't really mean anything. And Om is kind of what we consider to be in Hinduism and Buddhism too, but they got it from Hinduism. But Om is essentially supposed to be the primordial sound. So like the sound that willed everything into existence. And it's interesting because, is what in the Bible, in Genesis, it's like first there was the Word, So both of these religions kind of have this idea that sound was like the first thing to exist in the universe. And then we have the Big Bang, and we can call it a bang, right? That's a noise. Like that is what Om is essentially is. It's supposed to be the first sound that kind of created the universe. And so, I don't know if it really literally means sound that created the universe, but, sound is like the, I don't know, it's such a direct way that we can experience vibrations and movement and waves. And, if this is kind of getting a little bit out there, but if you get into like, string theory about like the universe and what comprises of the universe, essentially they say string theory is just a bunch of vibrating bands of energy, like vibrating strings on a guitar. Sound has this very important status both in kind of the Hinduism and Buddhism, Buddhist cosmology, because that's really what they're both kind of drawing from the same sort of cosmology, general like pan-Indian cosmology. And so with Buddhism picks up Om from Hinduism. And for Buddhism, it's kind of like they also refer to it as like the primordial syllable, kind of like the syllable that contains all syllables. So pretty much any mantra that you're going to recite within the Buddhist tradition, remember they're all in Sanskrit, they're not in Tibetan or China. Even in, you know, go anywhere in Asia where they're reciting mantras, they're going to be in Sanskrit. You know, they don't translate mantras from one language to another, because the mantras, really the point is supposed to be the sound of the mantras, not the meaning of the mantras. And so that's what I've kind of talked about before on previous videos. So yeah, if you're going to be reciting mantras in, you know, in Tibetan, in the Tibetan tradition, though they're in Sanskrit, you know, generally you're always going to start with Om. Om is always like the beginning of the mantra. So Om Mani Padme Hum, which is the most used mantra within the Tibetan tradition. It's the mantra Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion, who the Dalai Lama is supposed to be an expression of. So he's sort of like equated with Avalokiteshvara, or Chenrezig in Tibetan. So yeah, so Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum always starts with Om. And so another common mantra is the mantra of Vajrasattva, who is like, I'd like to do a video about Vajrasattva. He's a cool guy. He's not really, well, he doesn't exist in our historical timeline, but yeah, he's sort of like represents the archetypal student, so he's really important for practitioners, and his mantra is Om Vajrasattva Hum. So, and then there's, let's see if we can think of one more, Green Tara, another deity in the Tibetan pantheon. Om Tari Tutari Turi Soha, Om Tari Tutari Turi Soha. So they always start with Om. It's kind of like the cleansing or the beginning of the mantra. Another interesting thing about Om is actually, oh yeah, I got it. So this is a Tonka painting that I got in Ladakh. It's been over 10 years. Yeah, I got this baby in 2009. And you know, it's kind of a weird, it's not like great quality, but I kind of like the old vibe of it. And on the back here, I don't know if you can see, there's 3 little letters starting here, here, and here. And let me brush up on my Tibetan. So these little letters are showing that this painting was consecrated. And the top one, it's really hard to see, but the top one is Om. So it says Om Ahum. Om Ahum. And those are the 3 syllables that are meant to purify the body, speech, and the mind. And generally, not on this one, but on other Tonka paintings, you'll see the Om Ahum on the back of the Tonka painting, on the back of where the head of the deity would be. So Om, Ah is where the throat is, and Hum is where the heart is. And so Om Ahum, Om is meant to purify the body, Ah is meant to purify the speech, and Hum is meant to purify the mind. And so this leads to another interesting point, that traditionally in Buddhist cultures, the mind doesn't reside in the head, it actually resides in the heart. So that's why Om, the mantra to purify the body, is up here. Ah is to purify the speech is here at the throat, which makes sense. And then Hum at the heart to purify the mind. So yeah, that's just a basic little intro to Om and what it's all about. Again, I don't really use it. Well, I don't really use it in terms of like chanting it when I meditate, or I don't sit there and go om, om, om. And people do that, and it does feel really nice. I mean, there is something, whether or not you believe it's the first sound in the universe, like there is something very kind of like deep and vibrational about it. And when you say om, you can really like feel it in your body. So yeah, so again, I don't use it in that way. I don't chant om 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 om. But I'm sure you could probably find somebody else on YouTube who has a video guiding you how to do that if you're interested. But also, the way I use it is before I sit down to meditate as that kind of purification mantra. I go Om Ahum, just like on the painting, Om Ahum, to purify body, speech, and mind, and then kind of a secret mantra, which is Hri, Om Ahum Hri. And so, but you say that on the inhale, so you're like Om Ahum Hri, and then I start meditating. And I mean, that's just something my meditation teacher told me about. That's the only reason why I do it. I don't know if it really helps, to be honest, but yeah, just letting you know that's how I've used Om in the past. Cool. So yeah, talked a little bit about Om. So why don't we meditate? We're gonna do our body scan that we normally do. So if you're just joining us for the first time, you want to make sure that you take a comfortable seat, either cross-legged like I am or in a chair is fine. Make sure that you have your feet firmly planted on the ground, and you can feel free to meditate with your eyes open or closed, whatever is most comfortable for you. So first I'll be leading you through a 10-minute body scan. And then we'll do some rounds of focusing on our breath. So take your comfortable seat, and we will get started when I ring the bell. So now we're going to place our awareness on our feet. Just checking in to see how our feet feel right now at this moment. Maybe they feel warm, maybe they feel cold. Maybe you notice a particular texture touching your feet. However your feet feel right now, just recognize them. Become aware of that part of your body. All right, now we're going to move our attention up to our seat, where our body comes in contact with the floor or chair. Notice how you are held up and supported during your practice. Now we'll raise our awareness to our belly. Begin to notice the subtle movements of the belly as it follows the breath. All right, now we'll move our attention to our heart. Feeling that space in the center of our chest. Just become aware of this part of your body. And notice how it feels right now in this moment. Now we're going to move our attention to our shoulders, feeling into this part of our body. Just notice how your shoulders feel right now and become aware of them. Now, we'll move our attention to the back of the head, feeling into a part of our body that we don't often think about. All right, now we'll move our attention back down to our feet. Feeling the textures. Now we'll move our attention up to our seat. Noticing the support. Now we'll raise our awareness to our belly, noticing its subtle movements. Now we'll raise our awareness up to our heart, feeling into the center of our chest. Now we'll raise our awareness to our shoulders, checking in with this part of our body. Now we'll place our awareness to the back of our head. All right, now we'll move our attention back down to our feet. Now we'll move our attention up to our seat. Now we'll move our attention up to our belly. Now we'll move our attention up to our heart. Now we'll move our attention up to our shoulders. And lastly, move our attention to the back of the head. All right, in just a moment I will ring the bell, ending our first round of meditation. Okay, so we'll just take a quick little break. Next round of meditation, we're going to be focusing on our breath. So you want to place your awareness in your body wherever you feel the breath strongest. So for some people, that may be their belly. Excuse me. For other people, it may be your chest. For some people, it may be the tip of the nostrils. But again, wherever you feel the breath the strongest in your body, that is where you're going to place your attention. Now, the whole trick is that we're going to be watching the natural movements of the breath. So we're not trying to change the breath in any way, just be aware of its natural movements. And the whole trick here is that when you notice that you're not watching your breath and you're no longer paying attention to it, then you just place your attention back on your breath. And you may have to do this 5 times, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times. It doesn't matter. Just keep on doing it again and again. You can always start again. So this first round will be about 4 minutes. Then we'll do another quick break. And I'll offer some guidance during this round. And then we'll wrap up with another round of no guided meditation. So just about 3 to 4 minutes of you on your own. So take your seat and let's begin. So now we're going to place our awareness on our breath. Wherever we feel the breath strongest in our body, we move our attention there. Begin to watch the natural movements of the breath. No need to change anything about your breathing. Just become aware of it. And if a thought or feeling arises and you get distracted, just recognize that and bring your attention back to the breath. And if a memory from the past or a thought about the future comes and distracts you, just recognize that And bring your attention back to your breath. And if you get distracted, you're no longer watching your breath, just recognize that you've been distracted. Place your attention back on the breath. All right, in just a moment I will ring the bell, ending our second round of meditation. All right, let's just take another break, another quick break. Foot starting to fall asleep, as will happen. All right. So let's do one last round. Again, about 3 to 4 minutes. This time there'll be no guidance. You'll be on your own, but again, the same rules apply. Just focus on your breath, and really you're looking out for the moments when you stop focusing on your breath. Then you move your attention back to the breath. So keep an eye out. It's good to be distracted, because then it gives you a chance to put your attention back on your breath, and that's what this is all about. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. Here we go. right, in just a moment I will ring the bell, ending our third round of meditation. Once I ring the bell, I invite you to join me in a bow, dedicating all the merit we've accrued today to the benefit of all sentient beings. All right. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I do really appreciate it. I sincerely appreciate it. Let's see. Again, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you have any feedback for me, feel free to leave a comment. Also, if you have a question about meditation that you'd like me to address in a future episode, please feel free to leave a comment, and I will. Always looking for good ideas to see, and always want to know what you want to hear from me. So again, always open for questions. Also, my meditation music album is out right now. I haven't really advertised it yet, but it is available on Bandcamp. I'll have the link down below. So if you want to check that out, it includes 2 guided meditations, one the body scan that we normally do, and then another which is about 10 minutes, and then about a 6-minute guided breath meditation. There also includes just the instrumental versions of the tracks, so if you just want to use those as your meditation music, you can feel free. I've also have edits where one is exactly 10 minutes and one is exactly 6 minutes. So if you want to just use it as a timer, basically, you can do that. Set it, meditate, and once you know that the music is done, your meditation session is over. So yeah, check that out. And again, thanks so much for practicing with me today, and I will see you next time.